Oh, there you are. Now, according to the latest West Africa Jollof Index put together by SBM Intelligence, at least 317 cedis is required to prepare a standard jollof rice dish for a family of 5. Now, this is an upward adjustment of more than 14% compared to the 277 cedis average cost at the beginning of the year. The dish continues to lose its place on the dining table as high ingredient cost compels individuals and parents to opt for cheaper meals. Check this out. Right, so you can see how the numbers have progressed throughout the months from January until now. The price taking a very steep hike between May and June 2013. In May, it would have cost you only about 277 cedis and 75 pesos to make jollof for 5 in Ghana. Now, we're hitting the dizzy heights of 317 cedis and 50 pesos. Bearing in mind that we started off at about 277.75 at the beginning of the year, going up to about 286 cedis for February. It got a lot cheaper in March and April, but it has maintained those levels until May when it started to shoot up. Right now, though, we are quite expensive compared to other countries. Now, let's see if we can learn a little bit more about this. We'll be speaking to Ikemesit Effiong, head of research, who has been looking at these numbers and doing some analysis. Smiling at my very well-appointed plate of jollof right here, Ikemesit. I wish I could invite you to join me, but a part of me is glad I can't because it's delicious and I want it all. So listen, talk us through your numbers. First of all, how have you put these figures together? And what is driving the price up between the months of May and June? If you can unmute your microphone for us. There you go, there you go.
Sure, I have now. Yeah, so first of all, I should say it's a bit unfair that you're actually teasing me with a plate of Ghanaian jollof. I don't know if it's the best expression of Ghanaian hospitality, but I'll take you up on that whenever I happen to be in town. To the numbers and to the data, really, what the Jollof Index really does is that it tells a story of the overall economic condition situation, and the overall economic condition of whatever market we're tracking, right? And we do this here in Nigeria and Lagos right now, as well as where you are and in Ghana, and really for the Ghana Jollof Index, right, you're looking at, a weakening currency. Obviously, that will definitely impact prices because, there are market operators within the country who have to import key items, right? And, currency risk will disproportionately impact them. A key thing which, Ghana also shares with Nigeria, as well as, much of, West Africa where jollof is prepared, is the seasonality of key food items. Right now, all of the region, right, is in the rainy season. Now is not the best time where you would find, for example, tomatoes at a cost-effective, price point, right? So all of that, also impacts on the price. And the fact that seasonality is a factor is really a statement of the fact that, our supply chain management for agriculture is still at a very nascent level right now. Storage capacities both in Ghana and Nigeria, right, are pretty low. So you can't guarantee. So that gap means that you cannot guarantee all year round product availability at a competitive price point, right? Which means when it's harvest time, the food item that's been harvested is cheaper. When it isn't harvest time, obviously the price, goes up. Yeah, the final element, right, is the creeping insecurity. At least, we're beginning to notice this, right, with the numbers in Ghana, right, which is that, in certain food growing areas, there are elements of instability, which means that, some producers are not getting as much produce to market as you've seen in the past. And this is also an element which is present in Nigeria. It's a bit more pronounced in Nigeria than where you are, obviously, because our own security mix is a lot more complex, right? But it's still a factor also, right? And in Ghana. So, putting all of this together means that that plate in front of you, right, is a lot expensive, a lot more expensive now in May, than it was at the beginning of the year. And the outlook doesn't really indicate that, those trends might change for the better anytime soon.
I want you to stay with us because I'm very interested in how Ghana Jollof and Nigeria Jollof are sizing up against each other in terms of price points. But let me introduce two other guests. Abena Poku Abediako is the CEO of Chic Kitchen. And of course, this is a restaurant here in Accra. Wimo Victor Chinonso is from Imo State, and he is a Jollof consumer from Nigeria. Good afternoon to you both. Now, I want to start with Abena Pokua. Now, every mouthful of Jollof is bursting with flavor, especially the Ghanaian Jollof. You can taste the tomatoes in there, you can taste the pepper, the onions, whatever meat was used to make it, you can taste that in the stock. So it just really pops in your mouth. But all that popping is money. Talk to us about the most expensive or the most the ingredients that have increased the most in price for you.
Okay, thank you so much, Kojo. So the ingredient that has increased in the past months as a food business owner is for Jollof especially is tomatoes and rice. You can see the rice price keeps changing, the tomato prices keep changing, and those are most of the key ingredients that are used to prepare this jollof rice. Yes.